morning, everyone. Thank you very much for coming and welcome. So on behalf of the Vasculitis Foundation and Mayo Clinic, we really want to welcome you. For those of you that are not from Phoenix, I apologize for the nice weather. I just want to tell you that when Joyce approached me about a year ago and she told me about this meeting, I didn't hesitate a second. I love what we do, and part of my practice is dedicated to taking care of patients with predominantly ANCA-associated vasculitis. We had a few setbacks with the date, but fortunately we were able to get it on time. So let me tell you a little bit about my practice. First of all, I want to show you these pictures. Do you think this is Phoenix? Anyone? So, yes, I just heard somebody mention, this is 2 weeks ago. This is outside my house. This is on my way driving here to work. I just live 8 miles north from here, and we got snow, believe it or not. So I moved from Rochester, Minnesota, escaping from this, and it's following me. Okay, let me tell you a little bit about Mayo Clinic. I'm very, very proud of being part of Mayo Clinic. Mayo Clinic has been my home since I moved to Rochester, Minnesota to do my training back in 2006. So we have 3 sites. The first Mayo Clinic, which was founded by Dr. Mayo and his 2 sons, is in Rochester, Minnesota, so in southwest Minnesota. That's where I had the privilege of getting training, and I worked there for a few years. Then I moved to our facility here in Phoenix. So here in Phoenix, we have 2 different campuses. So this is the Phoenix campus. This is where the hospital is located. We also have some of our outpatient practices are here, as well as our cancer center. And then like 20 minutes from here is our Scottsdale campus, is mainly outpatient practice, and also we have the Mayo Medical School over there. So there's also Mayo Medical School in Rochester, Minnesota. And there is also a site in Jacksonville, so Mayo Clinic Jacksonville, and we try to collaborate between all 3 institutions. So here in Mayo Clinic, every single day we live and work by a very important set of values. Some of the most important values that we incorporate daily in our practice include integrity, respect, professionalism. But the most important above all the values that we care about is the needs of the patient come first. So it's always our main priority to take care of our patients and obviously take care of their families. So it's this value that every time we come to work, we always think about it every time we're providing care to our patients. I also wanted to show you, if you can see here the Mayo Clinic logo, you can see there are 3 different shields. So it has a specific meaning. So one shield is for patient practice. Obviously, the needs of the patients come first. That's our number 1 priority. The other shield is for research, because we obviously want to advance the knowledge and we want to find new ways of doing things and trying to find new therapies. And the third one is education. For us, education is extremely important. It's one of the values that our founders always wanted us to do. Not only educating medical students or educating our residents or our fellows, but very especially educating our patients and educating the families of our patients. Why? Because a patient that is very well educated in their condition is going to be a patient that is going to be proactive, is going to try to find and look for new answers and new therapies. So education for us is extremely important, and that's one of the main reasons why we decided to do this conference here and host it at Mayo Clinic. Keeping that in mind, education, this is the program that we put together. So we have different speakers. We try to choose topics that are of particular interest. We're going to initiate with large vessel vasculitis, and then the rest of the day we're going to predominantly focus on ANCA-associated vasculitis for patients with eosinophilic granulomatosis with polyangiitis. As you know, the vast majority have asthma, so we're going to have also one of the lectures on the new biologicals on asthma by one of our allergy experts. As Joyce mentioned before, I really want to thank our speakers, my esteemed colleagues. 2 of them came from Rochester, Dr. Rodriguez-Pla from Tucson. And then the other speakers are local here from Mayo Clinic, Arizona. So thank you very much for dedicating your time to this education activity. Importantly, we're going to have 2 breaks. So the first one at 10:30, we're going to try to stay on time. That's going to be for 15 minutes. And then we're going to have a lunch time around noon. So, and before we start, a few housekeeping issues. First of all, your cell phones, please mute your cell phones. I know everybody lives with a cell phone. I have 2 teenagers, and they can't live without a cell phone. So please, if you can mute your cell phones so we don't interrupt the speakers. Excuse me. The presentations are going to be approximately 20 minutes, 25 minutes, so we can leave like 5 to 10 minutes for your questions. The restrooms are going to be to the right of the auditorium. I want to remind you they are doing some remodeling in the lobby area of the hospital, so just be careful in that area. And about your questions, and this is very important, we really, really want to answer the questions that you may have. The only thing that I really will ask you to do is please try to make sure your questions are general and not very specific questions, because we want everybody to learn from the questions. And also for the speaker, sometimes it's very difficult to provide an opinion on a very specific and particular case because we don't know all the medical details. So if you have a special case that is very complex, I think it would be better if you can approach us during the breaks or later today, and we can talk about it in more detail. But for the whole group, if your questions can be more general, that will be more helpful, so everybody can learn from those questions, okay?